Today's featured matchup, sponsored by Mercedes-Benz, is a battle of pride. Yes, Evil Geniuses would love to get a more secure position in their group, but they and the rest of NA have the Pentanet miracle from last year's MSI still fresh in their minds.
Hook comes in a buy, but he only buys a second for himself. Flashes the knockup, flays away, and Kino nearly dies. Jojo's got to get in there, flashes in, takes an ulti, and now he can dive the Enforcer. And look at that, Evil Geniuses.
I think the next matches will be much easier. I haven't versed Chiefs mid laner like at all, so I have no clue. Maybe it can be good.
For the LCO, the Chiefs have been a flagship for years, and for their first Worlds, they come with a lineup stacked with the best talent the LCO has to offer. How did you end up in this spot? Perhaps we'll answer that question at a later date. Hops away, needs to find some teammates. Aladoric with a good double knocker. Maybe they turn it back around. It's Chiefs with a long con. Arthur sets it up for the squad. Now the Org is finally on the world stage after years of falling short, looking to prove that there's more LCO talent ready to take the next step.
Welcome back to Worlds 2022, just in time for our featured matchup presented by Mercedes-Benz. It's Evil Geniuses stepping on a stage against the OS's Chiefs. Refresher on the rosters, in case you forgot who was a part of each of these squads. But let's talk about this EG squad to start, Jat. A tough first day, fell down, rebounded just yesterday with a couple of wins, but those wins themselves they weren't necessarily a walk in the park.
It wasn't that clean. The start was a little dicey. The real quick Chiefs as well. A lot of these players have experience at Worlds before on Legacy in 2020, Tally, Topoon, and Raes. We also saw Raes in the LCS, their coach Babwip on TSM Academy. But this is what I wanted to talk about in terms of how far behind EG was in their game against Loud. 1,500 gold down at 15, 3,000 gold at 20, 3,500 at 23 minutes. Those are all the largest for a winning team so far at Worlds 2022. So they had to kind of hit rock bottom. 0-1 against Fnatic, 0-23 minutes against Loud. But now they're sitting at 2-1 and still have a chance to top the group. So really important that they continue to carry that momentum through today.
I think especially just the tenacity they showed, coming off the interview after day one from Jojo as well, where he's like, okay, we know we can do this. We just, review this game, fix some small mistakes. And then coming into this, it felt like, okay, things did get a bit better. Members across the board for EG were stepping up. And then later on in the day is when we saw them really have a decisive victory. So it really seems like that they're a team who have been pulling from experience from each of their games.
Oh, absolutely. And you talk about Jojo specifically, and we saw that featured matchup video to kick things off here. I do love his approach of I know nothing about my opponents, so I assume it will be easy.
I mean, you'd think he did say that when he was 17.
Right.
Yeah.
But now he's got.
I don't know if he's
mature.
gonna
You're right. Between yesterday and today, he's got that
he might have a
18-year-old
by
wisdom.
now, from the
He's
time
on the market of
put out
love.
that tweet.
He's available on the market of love.
And
Hey, and look at this though. The teammates celebrating.
Happy birthday!
His birthday. Kaori sporting the party hat. Yeah, I'm definitely curious to see what, or rather how EG will kind of strike out here in this one, because I think as much as they'll be happy to be that 2-1 record that you talk about, Jat, they would like to start showing much cleaner games.
I agree. And I also kind of want to take a moment, since we're already 20-ish games into Worlds and we had a meta discussion beforehand, like how it's actually been shaking out. So most banned champions, most played in each role.
Let's take a look.
And you can see a lot of bans being thrown towards the bot lane already. Caitlyn, Kalista. Kaori has played both of them already, so they're prioritizing what many people think is most powerful. And then, like, all these champions are actually champions that EG is very capable of playing, so they'd be pretty standard in there.
I was going to say, the Hecarim is something I would immediately jump to if I'm inspired. Here's some of your most picked.
Yeah, this is just most picked in each role. We talked about how Amumu and Maokai are becoming mainstays. The Aatrox one isn't even close. The next closest top laner is like 3 plays or something.
Wow.
And then MF is actually probably like the 3rd best AD carry, but just gets through the draft phase more.
Because those other two are hitting the ban table so often. And again, I mean, so does anything here jump out for you on the side of Chiefs then? Like, is there a specific pick in the meta that seems to suit them well? Because we talk about a number of those looking good for EG.
So ignoring the most played, something I'd actually like to see Chiefs go to is the Lee Sin for Arthur. Because, again, talking to people from OS, he was the best Lee Sin in the region. You look at his stats throughout his career, it's his most played, something he's very comfortable on. And one thing I'm really afraid of for Chiefs, looking at their previous games, is managing to get through the early game. So if they can get Arthur on something like a Lee Sin, maybe find a bit more action, a bit more pressure, and get their lanes ahead, it's like, okay, well, what do Chiefs look like, you know, going into the mid-game with a gold lead?
Well, I like that call out on Arthur just because of who his opponent is and the importance of Inspired to EG's success. And so giving him kind of ownership over that matchup with a playmaker like Lee Sin might be the recipe, you know, for success to kind of disrupt maybe some of the playmaking and, you know, movement around the map that Inspired generally brings to EG. You know, gives them their direction a lot of times.
Everyone's taking off the party hat except for the coach.
It's a little hard to wear a party hat and the headset at the same time.
I gotta say,
unless you're gonna wear it more like a unicorn crown, you know? I think that then it's a totally different.
I am kind of disappointed you guys didn't come with anything for JoJo's birthday. I brought the Crocs.
I'm
they
sorry.
might not be able to wear
Hey,
them,
those
but
Crocs
I'm
were in
here.
my hands earlier.
Yeah.
Were in your
They're
hands.
not going
Yeah.
back into my hands.
He had Croc
I
hands.
gotta say though,
Yeah.
on this desk you are the RNG shill, so I flipped over.
How do they
I don't know what
feel?
happened to EG.
Are they good?
Yeah.
You feel like
You
a
know,
better gamer as a
I had
result?
to walk around a little bit, but
Okay, so you're the one who wants to commit to the birthday.
Yeah.
Right? If they beat OS, are you going to do a Croc shoey?
I will. Let's do it. Wait, I mean,
A Red Bull Croc shoey?
Can you do a
committed.
shoey on a Crocs?
We'll try.
Well, I think what we
yeah.
do is one of us will just pour, and you have to catch it through the hole. It'll just kind of like be a slide.
Since it is your feet,
Yeah.
it's the same. You're the one.
Yeah, that feels like the safest thing to do. All right, so we got a shoey on the line. Sorry, for who winning? EG winning. Interesting. So it'd be EG beating the OS team, and we do a shoey in honor of their
Them
death.
going 0-3 and probably
Okay,
not making
sure,
it out.
why not? All right, Basic Time Goldberg. There's something on the line here on the desk. We're out to you for the call.
It's about time somebody put a shoey on the table, Goldberg.
We can't have a Worlds without it. We can't have an Oceanic team without it. Yeah, I'm feeling your chances, Lyric. I feel you. I feel you. Chiefs, while they're sitting at 0-2, I'm just waiting for them to pop off. I really am.
Yeah, definitely, you know, every team improves pretty rapidly here at Worlds because you play so many games, you have such a short time to adapt. In fact, we're already so quick that we're into the draft. So let's talk about that instead. Draven Swain banned away. Draven, a pretty good one there, especially not to Raes, also good in the meta in general. The tree is banned alongside Silas.
I was talking to some of the others about the matchup as well, because I was actually trying to sell Chiefs in terms of how they look. Obviously, they look very good, only dropped one game out of their entire season coming into this Worlds. I think that if you get Tally back on comfort like the Galio instead, it's hard to mess it up. Especially because quite often Jojo will not really look for control mages. He'll look for something with agency.
Yep.
Like the Silas, like the Akali. Having the Galio into that, well, that's already nice. But you also get the comfort of playing on towards Arthur. And we want to see something where Arthur can take charge, where he can challenge Inspired, because that's a jungle matchup that is very pivotal. The tree has been banned. Maokai, of course, on the not going to be available, so don't have to deal with him at least.
No different tank jungler, it looks like here. Sejuani for Inspired, could also be for Impact. Actually,
As I
Azir for
said
pick.
Wow, you know, I just said, you know, Jojo, not really looking for these control mages, but I think you understand what Tally is looking for as well. I think you know that if you go into the control mage matchup, you're going to be happy. It does leave open the fact you can pick Seraphine into the Azir. We've seen Tally do that before as well. Handshaking the control mage matchup would be very interesting though, and a lot of pressure would be put on Tally.
Azir pretty good. Jojo also, of the control mages, one of the ones he has a bit more experience on, but Viktor going to be there for Tally. So matching the matchup, which we'll see how that works out. Aatrox also notably banned by EG, despite having first pick, so just wanting to keep it out of the game completely.
So normally laning phase matchup feels good for Viktor. You just shove up the Azir, you can go for first strike as well and get the first move on it. It's later into the game where Azir starts leaving his impact. And now we talked about Arthur, something where he could drive the game. He's now picked Lee Sin. I'm not sure if it's the same kind of driver I was looking for, but it most certainly allowed playmaking potential to arrive.
Yeah, certainly as far as, again, we heard just from the desk. Good homework there, lads. His most played champion, one of his best champions, certainly in his region. He is the best Lee Sin. So definitely defaulting a bit to comfort here, it feels like the Chiefs. especially for Arthur, who has been the standout player so far and was kind of expected to be the star as far as domestic performance went. But that does give inspired Hecarim, as Jojo teases us once again.
Yeah, and I feel like you just grab the MF as well if you want to. Put that on top. Nautilus, Leona, and Mumu all up and available, so no matter what, you will get an engage option should some of them be banned away. And it just pairs well into what you have. I mean, in terms of getting an AD carry right now, that misfortune would really be nice.
Interesting.
This is
Leona.
interesting. Very, very interesting in terms of the priority that they want to show for themselves, because this allows them to go for an AD carry of their choice, ban 2 away that you don't want to deal with on the side of Chiefs. Because you're not really going to look to first pick a support or counter support right now. There's still loads of tools available in terms of disengage like the Braum, counter engage like the Mumu Nautilus. I think you could go for an AD carry and just get what you want, but they're actually just going to say, you know what, we value Nautilus this much against the Leona, so we will grab it now.
Yeah, matching picks, basically not wanting to lose any potential options and mismatches in phase 2. So now we're going to have same lanes targeted here.
On, being banned away for impact. So just a lot of the team fighting tool. Once again, Sejuani is still available for either side, should that be one they're looking for. If a Camille ban comes through now, then Chiefs are definitely looking for Sejuani on for themselves, and then that's something that EG might have to be worried about. But no, it is going to be that misfortune that we talked about.
Good ban there. Been very popular AD, as we just saw. Also been pretty effective in most of the games. Good in lane, great in team fights, good ulti, etc., etc. Gwen, the other ban, taking carries away from Topoon. I imagine Impact will line up a second ban here as well. And obviously, we'll have to likely blind his matchup, given that there's already a mid laner, so I assume Chiefs are saving counterpick.
Yeah, so AD carry is just probably what's going to come through over from the side of Raes. Kaiser is going to be banned away. Aphelios, Tristana, 2 still very strong AD carries up and available from the side of Chiefs. Should they look for it, Raes has been playing quite a bit of Aphelios in the past. If that is the one that they're going to be looking for. They're still talking, and yep, there it is, locked in by Raes.
Yep, also kind of the best AD left right now, so might as well take it. Caitlyn notably is actually still in the draft.
I have a fun fact for you. Despite Caitlyn having an 87 or 81% bad presence in terms of the draft, she has 0% win rate. She's been led through 2 times. Kaori lost the first one, Upset lost the second one earlier today.
Oh, that's true. I remember that. I remember that game. We were there.
We were there.
And maybe following suit here, EG actually going to go ahead and take Ezreal here for Kaori.
So that usually speaks to the fact that you want to play up towards the top side instead. It allows you to move around the map. Getting impact on the Gangplank makes a lot of sense. He's one of the few top laners that's actually still been able to make it work, despite the changes coming into the Gangplank. And now, Topoon, with the counter matchup, needs to make the most of it in this case. Unironically, the Vladimir matchup is actually really good into Gangplank.
Yep.
You barely ever get hit by the barrels. Your range, which means that GP can't have the same harass against you that he usually has against melee minions. Not minions, melee champions. And the other thing is that you match the scaling aspect that GP provides as well, so super nice to have.
Yeah, this is a pretty classic counter, actually. Definitely not like the kind of counter pick where you're looking to dumpster Gangplank 1v1. In fact, dumpstering Gangplank's like pretty difficult. One of the reasons he's so good as the top laner.
And it's going to be curious because now you have a really good mixture of damage, at least from where Arthur wants to gank. If he comes up to get early ganks in this GP, if he's been busted down a little bit by the Vladimir, well then having magic resist and armor, you're not going to get both in runes. So Impact is going to have to take a little toll. Still playmaking potential, the fact that Vulcan gets a lot of space to move around with. I don't think that Kaori is going to be under any threat of a dive unless Arthur is going to be there to 3v1 him essentially. So it's going to be curious to see how they allocate their resources on the map.
Yeah, also like pretty similar looking comps. Like matched, at least in phase 2, matched bands, right? Like each band a champion from each role.
Yeah.
Also match picks in the first phase. I feel like assembled like pretty similar looking comps here. Obviously plenty of comfort. Champions that these teams are happy piloting and know pretty well. So I guess we'll just look at execution as always.
I mean, the 2 different ones for me is definitely the jungle position and then the AD carry position. Jungle position because Hecarim is way more reliable, at least currently in the meta. And AD carry position because Ezreal does not come through with the same amount of damage that Aphelios does currently. Having these extended team fights doesn't benefit you the same way. Of course, you're still going to be good at it. We've already seen depth with what the champion can do if it's piloted correctly. But in terms of consistent damage in a team fight, usually if it just breaks out, Aphelios prefers to kiting back and engage.
Yep. It's always funny. It doesn't take much for AD carries to go back to Ezreal. One little buff, and he's back.
He is just one of the more well-rounded AD carries in terms of like, not so much the kiting you would get from like Jinx or Vayne or the likes of that, but more so the fact that you got mobility in terms of keeping yourself safe with your arcane shift. You got long-range poke. You got the possibility to play an attack speed build. You can play lethality. You can even play him AP, and it allows your support to play the map. So yeah, super well-rounded in terms of what it brings. And curious to see how Vulcan is going to use this time that he'll be getting away from the lane.
All right, well, having a look, one of the only real differences, again, I said these comps seem kind of similar. You highlighted some of the differences there. The other one is actually Topoon's Summoner spell, Ghost Ignite for the Vlad here. So looking to apply quite a bit more pressure, especially if Arthur comes to visit, which I have to imagine, especially with Arthur starting on this side of the map, the Impact is going to be an early target for the Chiefs jungler.
Well, Tally just got hit, so first strike won't have value in this instance, and Jojo actually getting the push in first. So feels good for Jojo here. Tally once again, eyes on him. It is Jojo's territory here. It is his mid lane. And you are just visiting for now, but of course an opportunity to take it over. We all know about colonizing, of course.
Surely you wouldn't beat the enemy mid laner on his birthday.
That is very true. That is true, but sometimes you have to.
Yep, sometimes you gotta do it to him. There's a little hook there from Aladoric, but just some trading back there. Vulcan not too miffed about the situation. Very curious again how top lane's playing out, especially in the early levels. Vladimir typically needs levels to get things going. Once you have max rank transfusion, things look better. Vulcan are continuing to eat hooks, but looks like they're racing to level 2, and they're going to win the race here. Ooh, Vulcan in there, forcing a flash.
Oh, Kaori.
Hello.
Still level 2,
Hello.
looking for it.
That is supremely aggressive. Love to see it there.
And it's just a good window, right? Most champions are like, oh, most Ezreal feels like, I can't Archangel Force, I'll get caught. He knows they're still level 1, so he has a window to look for it. It's a great start from the EG substitute coming through there.
Aladoric also likely had hook still on cooldown after Vulcan got hooked earlier, so nice little level 2 play. He's going to force Raes back early, so we'll be off to a small lead, but nothing massive there early on for EG. But still, might as well take what you can get. Love the aggressive look there.
Yeah, look at the sustain now on with the top side, because Impact, he's running low on mana. He's being shoved in with a large wave coming towards him, and Jungler is actually in the same position. Currently, Inspired is clearing up his Grump and is not really looking to shadow him as of right now. You can see he's going back down to the walls. So Arthur may have a window where he can try and look, but once again, sustain of the Hecarim is not to be messed around with, at least.
Yeah. Doesn't hit the Q. Now he's going to be on a ward. Impact knows that this was a possibility. So Arthur going to be spotted, but Inspired already charging down. Now level 4, happy to fight, but Arthur just ward hops away to safety. Tally though, oh my goodness, getting bullied by this Azir.
Most certainly. Usually, once again, Azir kind of gets to push in this lane, but since Jojo got the soldiers over the wall when they were walking to lane, he took charge in terms of the HP, and that just allowed him to go for more aggressive trades. And Inspired chasing down Arthur earlier, did use that Ghost, but forced him away and is now in a position where he can start counter jungling a little bit, making his way towards level 6 that much faster, and also delaying Arthur's level 6 spike.
I think you also mentioned this, but we did see Vulcan on our screens very briefly. Bad recall spot for Inspired, going to be okay though. That's the other thing Ezreal does, right? Very self-reliant as an AD carry, so you can leave him weak side and have Vulcan roam exceptionally early to help cover Inspired's counter jungle attempt.
Now, Aladoric, his turn to be out and about. Little walkabout on the map here, going for some roam timings, but Jojo not using the E in lane, still keeping it just as a safety net, and because of that, there's not really much Aladoric can look for.
Yeah, it's got a crab trade as well. Arthur gets the bottom one. Inspired got the top one, is ahead still on XP and slightly in farm as well. But it looks like things will cool down just a little bit there. Tally, despite getting harassed, is keeping the CS even, which is nice to see. Definitely, like many people early in the tournament, had a rough time against Humanoid.
Yeah, I mean, who can blame him? But either way, it's really one of these games where we're waiting for the level 6 to come through, especially from Arthur as well, to have that playmaking potential on the Lee Sin. And the same can be said, of course, for the Hecarim with Inspired. You can see how the lane kind of goes here. Once again, GP can't really have that same mark in the lane where he's usually a bully and taking charge of the wave and pushing you back, because he's playing against the range. Not only that, he's playing against a champion that sustains majority of it off again. So it's just horrible lane to play in. And even level 6, there is kill pressure for Topoon if you're not careful.
Yeah, especially with the Ignite. About 2 waves ahead right now. So Topoon looking good with his counter pick here against the Impact GP. A classic of his champion repertoire. Inspired poking around here. No level 6 though, and is spotted on the speed train, which we did know about. So just threatening, I think making sure the wave gets in safely more than anything else. And now going to go back to jungling and get that level 6 as fast as he can. Massively ahead of Arthur as far as farm goes, and should be 6 quite a bit faster.
Yeah, and in terms of just looking forward into the game, in terms of looking forward into the game, getting that first rotation for the Rift Tower is going to be really interesting, because on one hand, you have a bot lane from EG that can just send Vulcan up there. But on the other one, you have Chiefs, who has Topoon that most of the time gets the push onto Vladimir and has also just hit the level 6. So there's definitely 2 factors to play for, and one keeping you back on both sides.
Yeah, Impact is trying to chill. Already used that TP early to go ahead and grab the Sheen. Again, Topoon doesn't have TP, so we'll have to kind of stay and apply pressure, but a manaless health regenerating champion is pretty good at sticking in lanes for absurd long amounts of time. Good ward kill there, but no brush success there for the potential play out of the EG bottom lane as Jojo continues to bully Tally here.
Yep, not the most fun lane that Tally is under currently here, but Jojo, he keeps at it. Inspired, back in the position we've seen him in before, just counter jungling away, getting all the small raptors.
No ignite for, oh sorry, no smite, no ignite either, but no smite for Arthur. Means he was never gonna get that. Also level 6 for Inspired, has a look mid, Tally out of mana. Forced to use the ulti to try and clear the wave. Again, now it feels like you come back, maybe get the flash. Tally's definitely someone you can look to maybe dive here if Jojo sets it up again.
Oh yeah, and now with the blue buff not being taken as well from the side of Arthur, with the level advantage that Inspired has, with mid lane being pushed in by Jojo and bot lane as well from EG having the first move, you could try and get aggressive, but for now, they're just utilizing it on the River Scuttle.
Very relaxed early game here for EG. I think they know that, like, just don't want to do anything dumb.
Yeah. Well, you would tell me about it. Like, you're the expert on this matter. Well, aggressive.
I do silly things. Vulcan also perhaps a bit silly in tower range there, forced to flash away, but Kaori getting aggressive as well. Arthur in the mix, nice and quickly. Gonna force Kaori's flash all the same. Aladoric gonna dodge it.
Oh, and that's a very close affair in between both teams. Some of the spells burn a lot from the EG bot lane. No flash, no heal. And no flash from Vulcan either, while Raes still continues to have his. Could be good in a potential rotation if you wanted to force a fight now up on that top side. So definitely would like to see Aladoric make his move up there to the Rift Herald now that it's spawning in less than 10 seconds.
Raes gets to stay. If he couldn't wait around long enough, wanted to push the wave in and get back. So gonna be even at the end of the day. Raes should be able to get most of those minions and even up the CS and take his shop. Once again, Jojo getting aggressive onto Tally. Not sure how much first strike has happened.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking, I really wonder if he's actually gained any gold by the first strike just yet, because the way that Jojo has been playing that lane, he's really just been starving him out.
Top side again. Impact actually back down. This Topoon has been manicuring the waves nicely and continuing to apply pressure. That's so many comets. As Vulcan and Aladoric both hovering around the mid lane, kind of reading the same play. Also Rift Herald's up, so people want to be in the area. Kaori already rotating in, so is Raes, so it could be a 5v5 here.
And remember these summoner spells, Vulcan doesn't have to flash, Kaori doesn't have no one flash either. Impact,
Ready
looking
to
for
go.
flank.
Jojo moving on in. Topoon the target there. Inspired with a big ulti. Topoon going to be forced away, but Tally straight in front of everyone else. And who but Jojo to get first blood?
Yep, they just come in with a Pinsum Manure there. Inspired also finding the flank on them afterwards with the Hecarim ultimate. And despite the move being first from Chief, they don't really find a target to compile the damage on. They don't really use the advantage that they currently have. And EG, they just punish the lack of hesitation.
All right, well, once again, at the end of the day, first blood, nice, bit of extra gold. Jojo dodging that hook very deftly, but it's Inspired to watch there. He's going to go ahead and pick up that Rift out, although Arthur is revisiting as the Vulcan is camping this top side, maybe thinking that someone's going to poke around. Arthur is in the area, looking to take the Krogs. Could be a dive here, maybe a quick pop of the Herald as well, but looks like EG are going to take the Herald and back away.
I think we can all agree that you're not diving in Vladimir with the pool available to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, good.
Okay, yeah.
We're both on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was up for the argument. It was like, well, you just wait it out. Well, I guess that's true. But having a look at the replay again, you can see it there. Impact spotted on Vision, finds a great barrel. Jojo comes around. All of a sudden, lots of chaos, creative, and just the rest of Chiefs, they're just split apart. Great pickup on towards Tally. No flash any longer and just goes down.
What an ang there from Inspired. I was like,
yeah.
how did he get over there? Isn't a flash? I was like, ulted over.
How'd you do that? Now Tally getting ulted backwards.
Jojo saved the ulti from earlier, and Inspired's here again, and Tally once again under duress. Kill goes to Jojo. Happy birthday, buddy. There's two.
Easy as. Two over to Jojo. Mid lane pushed in. Tally goes down once again. And slowly but surely, EG are just accumulating leads for themselves. Rift Herald still in that position, goes aggressive.
Gets the cleanse and the flash. Vulcan are going to get out of there because the Nautilus ulti's coming on through. Gravity gun is there as well. Vulcan though standing. Kaori goes forward past the enemy support, trying to deal damage to Raes. Once again, long range gun is there, but no activate, I believe, for the root. As Inspired's here, trying to bait them in. Now has to get in there because Arthur would have gone in otherwise.
Well, doesn't really see the need to go in there, Arthur, and I respect it as well. You are just getting cancelled by the Hecarim into the ultimate, and you die. Now Tally.
Ooh, gets out of the gravity field just barely. Jojo giving him a thumbs up. Starting to feel himself here in this lane. He is so far ahead in CS, by the way.
Oh yeah, I think when he's going back here, he's going to be picking himself up some nice items. Now, while Jojo is going back, Chiefs at least are getting some objectives on the map, picking up the first straight, but Inspired is around to stop this.
Jojo's here as well, TP'd back in with a Ludens, but it's a temporary 3v2 if they want to go for it here. Inspired just looking for the steal, it looks like here. Gonna go in.
He gets it.
Are you kidding me? There's the ulti as well. Surely they can follow up here. Aladoric in trouble. It is Inspired low, will go down as Kaori gets the kill onto Aladoric. So money back to Tally, but Jojo's in there with his best buddy Vulcan. No kill this time though. Tally gets away. Arthur also trying to thread the needle. Finds the kill onto Jojo. Here's Topoon. Big flank angle there. Jojo gets away. It's Vulcan. It's maybe gonna have to sacrifice himself, but it's a step too far for the boys on EG as Raes grabs one onto Jojo.
They traded 1-for-1. Vulcan actually gets a kill on Arthur in the back line. But of course, getting that shot down over on a Vladimir, that's going to be great for him. But at the same time, they're losing so many resources by going for this play. This is what happens when you take the Ghost over the teleport, for example. So despite Topoon having had a great laning phase so far, he's actually behind in gold and probably also experienced now to Impact.
It's the GP classic. You just never leave your lane. Ulti when your friends are in trouble and keep smacking down the tower plates as Vlad has to leave or watch this one again. Inspired. How on earth could you steal this?
I think it's just going to be a Q and an auto attack together with the Smite. For Arthur, you only really have to execute when your Sonic Wave is up. And I wonder, well, the Sonic Wave is there. No, he just times it better than Arthur does, and he gets it, ultimates in afterwards. And then that is just a great fight for EG. You could say they may be overcommitting a little bit. Heal comes through from Kaori a little too late as well, also on Tally. But either way, you take it.
Very hyphy from Jojo, but not something we're not accustomed to, as Aladoric gets himself swept in after finding the hook. He's a little low on health, trapped behind the wall, but he walks past it, still too late. Inspired picks one up.
And that's a great disengage from Jojo there, performing not only just on the champions with agency, but now also with the control mages here on the Azir. Inspired, where we so often see him in the enemy jungle, and there's not much they can do to stop him. There is so many camps up for him to take. Rift Herald also available. Pressure points coming through from EG and Chiefs. How do you respond?
Yeah, Rift Herald just popped. Blue buff's going to go ahead and get stolen as well as Inspired continues to get further and further ahead. Arthur trying to run interference on the Herald. Should be able to do it. Yep, I get smacked and no plates given over. So a nice little win there for Chiefs. I imagine the Rift Herald was running low as far as time is concerned, but still up 3,000 gold for EG.
Inspired still looking for Arthur. I'm surprised they're the same level with the amount of camps that's been taken away from Arthur, but then again, there's a whole red side for Inspired to pick up afterwards as well. Tower in the top side with no Herald invested has also become too, well, very critical HP up there.
That's true. Impact has been farming away on the enemy tower. Not going to leave. Has the TP unleashed as well. Doesn't have it up by the looks of things. Yeah. Just used it. Has his Reaver done. But he's going to stick around as long as he can. It feels like Topoon's advantage is somewhat dissolved here in the top side. Impact's pressure is just mounting.
And I think for EG as well with this game, while it's looking pretty good for them so far, and there's obviously still chances for Chiefs to get back into it, if EG were to take this game and tie with Fnatic, they still have a chance to be first in this group with just skipping out on playing the knockouts and going straight up to the main stage. Winning these games are actually so crucial for EG, so despite it looking good right now, it needs to continue to look good.
Yeah, absolutely. And EG also a team, we heard it, from Jojo, from Inspired. Obviously opening day, not so hot. So wanting to continue to learn, adapt, and scale as the tournament goes on.
But they VOD review. Kings of VOD review right here.
Hey, look. Not everyone looks at their games. Definitely these players do. All the pro players do, I imagine.
Yeah.
Me, not so much.
That is very fair. Now, cross maps are coming through. Blue buff's getting taken away. They want to get something back, but they're not getting it for free.
No, Inspired gets it instead. Vulcan stunned the blue buff, but I think he forced a flash as well. Maybe Aladoric lost it, perhaps not, but still EG trying to defend. Chiefs popping in, at least trying to get something going, but not overcommitting on the attempt there again. Behind, but not so far behind that they can't find a way back into this game.
Now they're looking around Jojo here. He doesn't really have too much warding on the left side, and there you see it, gets stopped.
Really trying to pick on the birthday boy, but it might work out this time around. Damage is there. Raes gonna pick one up, and Aladoric is gonna be traded away as Inspired continues to rack up kills. Has the Triforce done, Vulcan into stasis, but Raes still pretty threatening. Arthur finds the Q, Topoon there with the ulti, gonna try and make it happen. Impact really getting in there.
The Aerie!
Big barrel, but Topoon picked it up with the Aerie at the end of the day. And Chiefs get away with 2.
That is one angry little Aerie there. That was so fast as well. That's an execute if I've ever seen one. My word. So, kills are going over in the favor of Chiefs. They're picking up Jojo, who's just too far forward in lane. And despite trying to go away with the banana drift, he's not really able to it without getting stopped by Aladoric.
And Noodle is pretty good at locking people down, yeah. You said it. Jojo's like, hello, I'm here in the middle of mid lane. Like, you can't be there. This is why.
He's got the members backing him up, though, right? They're ready to try and be there. Arthur's actually the one who stops the dash. Aladoric with the ultimate, and then just finding it to set up his team. Will still go down for 1, but in the grand picture here, 2 kills going over to Chief. That's definitely something you're happy about when you've been struggling to leave your mark on the early game.
Will Larry? Oh, Human Plague still ticking away. Boink. All right.
Well, Drake's been taken by Chiefs. Fight breaks out.
Certainly does. Inspired right in there. Pretty strong right now, Aladoric. No hope of getting out of this one, but can everyone else get away safely? Tally is here to reinforce, but Jojo trying to make the big play. A great flash out of Raes, but the setup's still there. There's nothing you can do. EG are gonna look to ace the Chiefs. It's only Topoon left alive in top lane.
Oh, and it's a slaughter 17 minutes into the game. They're already knocking at the base. You can see the only mid lane turret standing is the inhibitor, and they pick up the kills in the team fight. Chiefs, they get the Mountain Drake. They get 1 objective for themselves, but they pay a hell of a lot for it.
Yeah, 4 turrets to 0. Rift turret, I believe, was picked up as well. Indeed, summoned in mid, as you can see. And Vulcan's just getting in there.
Yeah, he definitely is. But the problem is that the Chiefs members are not really in a position to start off a team fight. Topoon, as you said, still on the top side. Went for the Ghost and Ignite. Down on the bot side, Tally is on the Viktor. Just not able to be in a position to fight at any point in time. And when he finally joins the team, well, he's only joining them to die with them. So at least the captain goes down with his ship.
But yeah, Jojo and Inspired, more than enough damage, more than enough range to re-engage on that fight. A clean 4-piece there for EG. Inspired's feeling pretty good with the Trinity Force and 4 kills. And his team is very far ahead. 6,000 gold up right now as Aladoric once again. Just kind of happens on support sometimes when you're on the losing side. You just get donated to the enemy team over and over.
Oh, they found a pet. They're just keeping him. Oh, never mind. Slaughtered in the jungle.
Inspired continuing to rack up that gold. I think Vulcan definitely thought about taking that kill, but probably
I would have done it.
I mean, yeah, me too. But that's why
They even pushed it out of Kaori's ultimate.
Ooh,
yeah,
true.
they really tried to deny him a lot there. Not Jojo rather. Inspired in the end getting it. Now mid lane being pushed in by Set Jojo. Down at the bot side. Impact pushing in a wave. They're playing on 2. Vulcan on the flank position. Forcing Topoon away for the turret potentially.
Yeah, I don't think you can really defend this as Chiefs. I think they'll give it up and agree. Raes too busy dealing with the pressure in mid, so another tower goes down. Inspired is just in there. The damage on Aladoric again. You are not tanky, my friends.
Ooh, true shot barrage. Does not connect to its target. That's so true this time around. Jojo finding Tally. We've seen this one before. Let's see how it goes this time.
Just bullying him. Jojo. 1v1 in Tally. Tally looking all right, but in the end, it is going to be Jojo getting that kill. Just barely, though.
Oh, the burn. The minions.
There we go.
The 1-for-1 up in the top side. Tally not gonna go down 4 times without a fight.
Message sent and received by Jojo, who will definitely do it again. Vulcan, nice little catch, but who's caught here? Kick back as Kaori's in there. Nautilus ulti, though, is gonna make it a bit problematic as Impact roaming in. Aladoric again, just gonna melt. Raes goes down to the GPTP and well worth it for Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, and that's the story so far of the game. Chiefs, they get something, but EJ, they just get so much more. And now 3 members pushing in the mid lane turret. 20 minutes will be on the clock soon, so taking the inhibitor would still give you pressure in terms of picking up a Baron, but for now, they're gonna deny them the extra gold and the experience you get by the supers.
11,000 gold ahead as we watch this 1v1 again. Jojo just feeling himself today.
Oh, he is, but still Tally pretty much connecting with all the abilities that he has. Not a single laser was missed, and then the Chaos Storm with the Leandry's Burn and the minions is enough to at least finish the job. So good on Tally for trading it back. Problem is, doesn't amount to much.
Vulcan invading. Again, taking the aggressive angle, but EG definitely feeling confident here, taking maybe some risky plays, but still working out nonetheless, even with Vulcan going down here.
Just having a bit of fun here. And you can see Impact comes around with it. Double kill, picked up. He's even got a nice little vacation skin on there as well. Just chilling. Well, he's actually not out traveling. Well, they're in Mexico. That's outside of America.
That is true. All accurate geographical facts here from GB. Prowler's call done for Impact as well.
I'm just like taking a chill, you know, there's a Drake coming up, less than 1 minute. No need to overforce it now, no need to throw it away. You have such a big gold lead. You don't have to just throw yourself at them, but Impact might find Raes.
But
Yep.
they will.
Yep, probably.
If Impact is doing this,
Yes.
they're feeling it.
Okay.
Impact is like the chill.
So if he's aggressive, then you know that this team is looking for something. Now, he's also gone for the Prowler's build, so if he gets in melee range of Raes, he'll just straight on Prowlers on towards him. So it's a good flash by Raes. He would have get hunted down for sure. Now, mid lane priority is gain. That's going to give you access to the rest of the map in terms of the enemy jungle. You can move up towards the top side, move down towards the bot side as Drake is spawning in less than 10 seconds. But EG, they have their sights on the top side.
Inspired is the same level as the solo laners. And Arthur is level 10.
Yeah.
Just wanting to put that out there.
I think that's the reason why a lot of people don't really like the Lee Sin matchup into the Hecarim, but, you know, who knows?
Aladoric supposed to flash away. Vulcan been pretty accurate so far on his Leona. But, you know, worked it here before, got the inhib tower in mid, gonna take the one in bot, maybe get the inhib for funsies at the end of it all. Are gonna break one here. Impact continuing to fight. Topoon doing a decent amount of damage over the wall, but there's more where that came from on the EG side as Impact rejoins and Inspired continuing to be an absolute menace.
First inhibitor goes down, second one is next. Are they just gonna try and end the game here 22 minutes into the game? Surely not.
Kaori may be in trouble. He goes in instead. Now Arthur looking for the kick, finds it on the Kaori, but he gets out of there with the flash. Arthur still fighting out. The ulti not too bad out of the Vladimir, but Tally taking too much damage and the wallet dip is too great for Chiefs, even with Arthur's decent kick there.
Yep. Threw everything at them, but lots of abilities didn't actually connect there. Jojo's ultimate wasn't really in a position to pick up a kill, and I actually think it's quite a miracle that no one from Chiefs went down in that instant. They tried to look for the fight, they have to at some point, but they're just so far behind. It's so difficult finding it.
Yep, there is an Infernal Dragon up and available. Also worth a bit of extra money as well. Glowing yellow there, as you can see on your minimap. Inspired's in the area.
If they pick him up on the Drake, could be good. Well, TP's in.
They're going for it again. I know that they are going to play nice and aggressive, not wanting to give anything away. I did check, by the way, what the fastest game for Worlds this year was. Unfortunately, we have just passed it. There have been some absolute bangers. In fact, it was still loud versus TFM.
Oh, yeah.
It was that game. So we're not there yet. EG can't break any sort of speed records for this world, but still feeling very comfy here in this game.
They can break slow records if they want to. You can keep this game very slow from now on and make that a record.
Imagine that. You're like, God, I know we're like 12-ish K ahead.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they can't see the numbers.
Yeah. We still have a scaling aspect. I mean, so do they, but
what if?
flip it.
What if we tried to break the record for the longest game? I don't think that's going to happen. I think EG wants to celebrate JoJo's birthday as early as possible. They're going to try and get this one done and dusted swiftly.
I mean, one person at least to feel bad for is Lyric. He's going to be doing a shoey in a Crocs with Red Bull in a bit. I'm not sure how he's going to manage that. That's going to be Red Bull all over his face, but we're getting there.
I think with enough ingenuity and duct tape, you can figure it out. You might have to, like, do some croc engineering.
Oh, yeah. That I mean, just, what is that? Thrift my, what's the word? What, there's like thrift my ride or something like that. It's just like, do it with my Crocs instead. Pimp my ride, pimp my Crocs.
Pimp my Crocs has been called. Well, even without his signature footwear, it seems like JoJo's just fine here in this game. Inspired diving in once again. Oh my goodness! They are just melting as JoJo zips back in. Inspired and Kaori gonna pick on Topoon. And I think this might be the ace that ends the game. They only needed one. EG gonna pick up their third win here at Worlds.
And with that, they keep their hopes and dreams alive for the first seed. It is out of their hands. Fnatic would have to drop a game tomorrow and EG would have to win it. Either way, the chance is there from EG, and you know, they're gonna have to wait a while if they want to pet their KDA here. We're still talking 8 seconds on the Nautilus. All right, guys, go on.
Nope, the minions are going to deny it. No extra KDA, no more kills for the birthday boy. Done and dusted in this game. EG with a very clean-looking win.
Oh, yeah. And yeah, no longer Ina's 17-year-old hope, now Ina's 18-year-old hope. And there's a cake prepared for him, of course there is.
Incredible!
That is amazing. If you can't bring food to the studio, find other measurements. And Jojo walking around with his cake, potentially want to share it with the fans. Birthday hats are back on as well.
I will say, he did replace his signature Crocs with some pretty cool looking sneakers by the looks of things. But as someone that's seen him around the studio a lot, it does look a bit off.
Yeah, well, if your mid laner is always going to be wearing around in Crocs and seeing him in sneakers is unusual to you, then you know that he's got a very solid style of fashion.
Yeah, definitely powerful branding as he matures into the 18-year-old that he now is. Happy birthday, Jojo, once again. And congrats to EG for yet another win. And really have just sped up, honestly. Games have gotten better. Games have gotten better day on, game after game. First off, the Fnatic looked rough. Oh yeah, how well Fnatic were playing. You know, EG had a lead for like a couple minutes.
But that's the thing. You have to lose your games to get the most out of your VOD review. The more mistakes you make, the more you have to VOD and fix. So for EG, this is a field day for them. They love this.
Which explains the loud game. And also why this game looks so good.
Exactly.
I think you're onto something.
I definitely think so too. If only Chiefs, well, they still have a chance to at least make their appearance a little more valuable as well. There's still more games to go, but they're struggling, and it's a rough one, but I think they had moments where they showed off, even Tally getting a, well, it was a solo kill, it was a 1-for-1, but it was there, but definitely EG showing up and showing why they're still considering as good as they are as a major region.
Yeah, definitely a game where obviously the Chiefs would like, a little bit of revenge. Raes has played in NA, Tally's been there too, I believe as well in Academy, maybe a long time ago. My brain isn't escaping me, but unfortunately for them, not their day. EG looking cleaner and cleaner as the tournament goes on, and Jojo obviously celebrating with EG picking up a win. I believe a certain member of the Stay Farm Analyst Desk, Goldberg. Oh, is this a shoey?
Go for it, Lyric.
Thank you so much, Pastry Time. Lyric's all prepped and ready to go, but we are going to make you wait till the end of the segment for the payoff. But a shoey will be, a Croc shoey will be done as promised. I know, I love it, and that's part of it. I want you in this outfit for as long as possible. So I'm going to keep this segment going if I can. A pretty dominant showing out of EG there, and exactly what we were asking for in kind of in the face of what they've shown us up to this point in the tournament so far, Jat. Ramping up day over day, starting to solidify themselves in the image that I think most people had of them as a favorite in this group.
Yeah, and one thing I liked about this draft is first picking Azir. I think if they can get Jojo in a control mage versus control mage matchup against Tally, that it's going to be a good time. And then they also get Hecarim, which was, we saw earlier, was one of the most banned champions so far at Worlds. And I like that Inspired did Trinity Force on it as well. I think that's much stronger than the Divine Sunderer. But this game wasn't that close.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of it coming from the early game where Jojo was winning mid lane incredibly hard, and it just allowed for Inspired to be in Arthur's face the whole game, taking his camps, which is kind of unfortunate because Arthur finally was able to
got the lead.
He got the lead. He was finally able to get something that can have some aggression. But what we saw come out from mid jungle just didn't allow him to do anything.
Yeah, and again, just coming back to Jojo as it seems we always do with Evil Geniuses. Now across their 3 wins, right? Silas, Akali, and Azir. I like that they continue to expand the pool of wins, that he's on. Because he is going to, I think, need to be the catalyst if they do, for most of their wins moving into a knockout stage and groups of the main stage. He's going to have a deep enough pool where they always have an option for him to go to.
Yeah, I agree. Just overall, EG able to bring out numerous different looks. Coming from someone who, LPL 7 days a week, can't really follow NA too much. You always hear about Jojo being this huge playmaker on those assassins and bruisers. Getting to see the Azir is nice. Even moving over to Kaori and him bringing out the Ezreal, where typically it has been more about those aggressive bot lane style champions. So EG overall, if they can keep showing multiple looks and then win dominantly, feeling very confident for them going forward.
Yeah, Impact reminding us that he can play GP as well. It's always a good little refresher on that one. Hey, this champion exists.
I don't know if people people need refreshers, especially Chiefs.
It's pickable. But yeah, a total team effort in this one, and ultimately player of the game. While the damage output was primarily coming from JoJo in the mid lane, it will go to the Inspired on that Hecarim for our 1+ OP player of the game.
Yeah, had a backbreaking smite steal on that Hex deck Drake early on. And then also just, I feel like when Inspired gets ahead, he enjoys emote spamming and like the stop taunt more than any other player I've ever seen. I feel like every single game he's gonna delay someone's death timer to maybe try and get in their head or assert dominance. But he was the MVP of North America. Hasn't looked as MVP in playoffs and so far at Worlds, but I think this was a little bit of him getting back in form.
Yeah, and I feel like as well, right? I remember day one, one of the things we talked about was when we compared his stats to Razork's and being like, hey, Razork's a little bit better, more aggressive in the early game. But I think games like this show a lot more of what Inspired's about. It's not always just about constantly finding kills, being in the enemy jungle, taking away camps, getting the smite steals on dragons. He's someone who's able to do it all.
Yeah, Hecarims. I don't know how much. I'm wondering when this champion goes from slides through time to time to permaban. It feels, at least I don't know about your guys' perception right now, to me kind of feels like the most dominant champion.
It's getting there,
right?
For sure. Callista,
in terms of the non-permabans, I guess. It's just because it slips through more than Callista.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's
but
the
I feel
thing.
like even things like Maokai, I kind of question, right? Because it didn't let through. It was undefeated until, again, kind of having back-to-back losses.
A few losses today.
A few picks I think we're still keeping our eyes on, and especially once we go into best of fives, and then especially groups of how these champions pan out.
Yeah, definitely. Well, in just a moment, Lyric's gonna pay off his shoey for us. But before we get to that, we're joining Laura and the birthday boy for the Verizon post-game interview.
And welcome back to Mexico for the Verizon post-game interview with birthday boy jojopyun. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
18 is special. What can we wish you for this one? No int in solo queue, good results at Worlds. Okay, what do you want to achieve?
I mean, today was my birthday, so obviously I wanted to win if I lost.
Yeah.
Obviously that would suck, especially never mind. But if I just lost today, that would suck. So, I mean, yeah. And besides that, I just want to do well at Worlds. That would be a good birthday present too, so, yeah.
Yeah, any special celebrations tonight? I know you have to play a game tomorrow, but come on, 18 is... 18.
Yeah, I mean, I have a game. I don't even know what time the game is, so I don't know what time I have to wake up.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'll probably do something, but I won't stay up too late.
All right.
We'll see.
What did you think about the whole hats and celebrations that you guys did on stage? Was it planned for a long time?
I mean, I told my manager an hour before the match. I don't know what he was doing because we should have done something. So I just told him find party hats in the mall or something since it's huge. So we just got them last second and then
Nailed it. And you even had hats matching the outfits that you have. I think he did a decent job. Let's focus on the game though, because that's why also I brought you here. With Fnatic losing earlier today, it means that you're tied for first for now. Would you say that EG is the best team in the group?
I mean, honestly, I don't know. Every team has good games and they have bad games too. I don't even know what's going on, to be honest. Fnatic, they looked good, and then I'm not sure what happened today. So I don't even know how good they are right now. I don't know what's happening, and I don't even know exactly how good we are right now too. So we'll just have to see. Honestly, I can't really predict anything.
I saw the memes. I think you posted when you played Loud, being okay, we're Germany now, losing against Brazil. How happy were you when Fnatic lost earlier today?
I mean, I love Brazil, of course, but even more when they won, of course. So it felt good. I had a feeling they would win too because they're playing pretty well early games. So yeah.
All right, give me some deets about the next game. Detonation Focus Me, they won earlier. How good of a team are they? And Stomp, close game. Expectations for this one?
I mean, I thought they'd be doing better this tournament. Honestly, I think their mid laner is pretty good. Their ADC is pretty good. Their jungler is pretty good. I mean, they have pretty good players, I thought so. But they didn't look too good this tournament, so I'm not sure. I think we'll definitely beat them, but we still have to, not lose focus and still act like we're versing, like Fnatic or another team. I don't know.
All right, keep the head straight. Jojo, congrats. Happy birthday once again. And we'll see each other for another interview later. See ya.
Welcome back.
Jojo!
Jojo's here with us. A Crocs enjoyer himself.
Yeah.
We have a Crocs enjoyer here.
Yeah.
Lyric, who owes us a Red Bull Crocs shoey.
I want to explain really quickly why we're doing this.
Please jump. Please go for it, yeah.
So apparently yesterday, there was a delay on stage because Jojo was wearing Crocs, and I checked the rules, and it says you need to wear closed-toed shoes.
Right.
So someone decided to enforce that, and I don't know completely why. So this would be a closed-toe shoe. It's better for a shoey because you could put liquid in it,
And
it would
it'll-
hold the liquid,
yeah.
and then you could do the shoey.
Right.
We're gonna see how it works with the croc.
It's going to
though.
present some problems here, but we're going to go for it, all right? Like, we like to test limits here on the broadcast.
You know what? Happy birthday, JoJo.
Yep.
Mom, if you're watching, I'm sorry.
There you go.
Yeah.
We got a sugar-free Red Bull is the choice
Jesus,
here.
oh Jesus, we're gonna take this off. And
So, Lyric, you're going to try and do this 100% yourself, too. No.
yeah, and look at this. There are numerous holes.
So
which,
the
you know,
strategy-
we're gonna try and do this. It will get everywhere, and
Yeah, utilize the open toe.
you know what?
Yeah.
In the
It's
word-
about targeting the right toe hole.
Yeah.
we're just gonna send it. You know, in
I'd
the words
send
of
it.
other
Here you go. Here's your Red Bull. JoJo and I will watch.
You know,
Right, turn sideways. Remember, turn sideways so that we have a
actually,
better.
you're a commentator. I feel like you should be providing some commentary over.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Well,
so you can take the
currently-
mic away. We don't need to listen to
I
him
want to
drink.
hear his. Well, you already spilled.
It's already spilling.
We're sending it.
That's a bad
Let's
start.
go. Go, go,
Going
go,
down.
go.
Oh, it's all coming through. Wow. It's not spilling at all. It's incredible.
Wait,
you gotta check the whole thing.
Oh
Come
no,
on.
his pants are getting
Oh, no.
destroyed.
More.
Keep going. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Chewy, chewy, chewy.
Yes. That was really well done.
God, how'd it go? How'd it
That
go?
was so hard.
But
now, now we have to do analysis and breakdowns.
it's
No.
so much more
Now we're
was
going to
gonna
a break.
spill.
We're going to give you some time to clean up while we
Wow.
head to a break. And as we head to a break, make sure you check out Isurus's pick Inquebrantable by JXP as the song that represents their playstyle on the official LoL playlist on Spotify. We'll be back in just a bit. Well done, man. Well done.